This is my Corrado, and it's broken. Okay, so is my Corrado ever not broken? It seems like all the videos that I've been doing are on the car when it's either broken, getting towed out of here. The only one that wasn't broken in, and actually I think it was broken, I just didn't know at the time, was the video about what to look for when you're buying a Volkswagen Corrado. And unfortunately, it's always gonna be something, and if you know somebody that owns a Corrado, or if, again, you're looking at Corrados, these are just all things that you wanna look for, and we're gonna kinda go through it piece by piece by piece. Again, I can't stress enough, as far as this car, it's super, super rewarding, and it's a 30-year-old car, so there's gonna be things wrong with it. It just always seems to be stupid little nagging things that I haven't experienced with any other car. So let's get started, let's go through everything, and I'll show you exactly what the car needs and what is broken on. Okay, first thing. The worst design ever, electronic seat belts. This one is broken, and it's only started breaking. It probably started to break, I don't know, a few months ago, and it's progressively getting worse. It goes up sometimes, like halfway, sometimes it doesn't go all the way. You hit a bump, you let go of the clutch for whatever reason, it goes all the way through. So this needs to be replaced. Next thing, radio. It's in safe mode. I have to get the code. Yes, it's the factory one. I'm hoping that it still works. I have no idea. In my 1.5 years of ownership, I've never ever used the radio. It's always been in safe mode. Being that the battery in this car is extremely bad and doesn't really hold a charge for much more than a couple of weeks, you know, by doing that, if I get the code, I'll have to constantly be getting that reset. But one more thing. All right, number 3, heating and air conditioning. So it does kind of work. The heat kind of works. Air conditioning, not so much. My buddy Malcolm and I talked about it. He seems to think that we need to go through the entire unit and replace a lot of stuff. So that's gonna be a big project, hopefully done before the summertime. Not that it's a big deal, but if you've got it, why not have it work? Next thing. Oil gauge works. Volt gauge does not. So it's pinned at 16 volts constantly. It does go up, it moves that way, but it's not reading accurately. So I don't really actually know what's wrong. It's like once it gets power, it just reads 16 volts. Not ideal. Next thing is the lovely headliner on the sunroof. That needs to get replaced. I actually have had an appointment for multiple times to get this done, and every single time I go to bring the car, we have a major issue with it, and I'm unable to bring it to him. All right, in the back of the car, we'll go through this as well. We have a broken molding piece. Unfortunately, mine fell off and cracked in half, and now it's gonna be a bear to try to find another one, but just one more thing that is broken on the car. Another little fun piece, and some of you may know, the seat poles. They're pretty common to break. Unfortunately, both of those are broken. Okay, this one's a little bit more difficult. You really can't just see it. It is the bottom grille. A lot of you, if you're a Corrado owner, may know that that is a really kind of a tough piece, because the way the Corrado bumper sits is like on that level, and it just kind of attracts everything into it. So a lot of times it's cracked, broken, faded, where the tow hooks are. It's just not pretty. So that needs to be replaced too. Hopefully I can find one. Okay, that's not broken, but I do need to fix that. And what I mean by fix that is we have Mark IV GLI brakes on the front, and I have the ones for the rear. What I was actually waiting on was the carriers for them. I have the hub. I actually have custom hubs to put the Mark IV GLI brakes on the rear of the VR6. I'm not 100% sure if the G60 has the exact same thing, but again, that is my recommendation for the biggest upgrade and the best big brake kit for the Corrado. In my opinion, OEM Plus, try to find that. Hands down, one of the best upgrades that I've done so far on it. Okay, so it's broken. It's got a lot of stuff wrong with it. I'm gonna fix everything, all these little problems. They're really not a big deal, and they do not affect the car's drivability at all. I already ordered the seat poles for the back. Those are still actually kind of available. You can get them on eBay. They're a horrible design, and that's why they break. They're made of like a rubber, they dry out, they crack, and it's like a little hook that hooks onto another hook, and yeah, not a good design. As great as the Germans are at making cars, sometimes they do some pretty weird things. Anyway, everything else on there, the heating and air conditioning, that's gonna be something that's obviously kind of a big project, and we kind of have to diagnose where the issue's coming from. The heat's kind of fine. The car just runs really, really cool, and anybody knows that that's kind of an issue when it comes to heat. So the heat does work. We may be replacing the heater core, and while we just are pulling all that stuff apart, replace or rebuild as much as we possibly can. As far as the lower grille, if I could find a clean one, I will. I'm not even afraid of using like a reproduction of something like that because it's really kind of out of the way, and you really can't see it because the way the Corrado bumper is, it just bothers somebody like me because I'm like, I know it's not perfect. As the whole car is not exactly perfect, but I want it to be as perfect as possible. Everything else, it really shouldn't be a big deal to get it done, and pending that there is no major issues going forward, the bigger projects are obviously going to be putting the GLI brakes on the back. And again, that was not a broken issue. That is just I needed to kind of collect as many things that I could to make that done right. The front end of this car is like almost brand new now, which is awesome, and just makes the car drive even better. With that being said, just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the MR2. I do have coilovers coming in. We're gonna be doing a video on that. It's actually going to be a install video on that because I did my shifter install, but unfortunately, people wanted to actually see it being a little bit more in depth on how to install. I'm not gonna probably go crazy with a coilover install because it's kind of lengthy, but I'm definitely gonna do a little bit better of documenting this as well. I've got some stuff coming for the TRD Pro, which is awesome. We already threw the wheels and tires on there. And last but not least, the Cayman is gonna be getting an exhaust at the end of the week, and I'm gonna do a video so you guys can hear that. And that's pretty much it. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Hit the like button, comment, and let me know exactly what you like to see, what you don't wanna see, and also if you have any questions regarding the Corrado or any of the other cars on the channel. Or anything else, all right? So please feel free to reach out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.